Hello students, in this video we will discuss about the function in Python. The main objective is how to define a function, how to call a function, what is function argument and function recursion. Let us define a function. Function is a group of statements within a program that performs a specific task. That task may be a part of a large program. Functions can be executed in order to perform overall program task known as divide and conquer approach. Let us take an example from our day-to-day life as like the example of dishwasher. I think all of you have seen dishwasher. What happens there? In that device, we are putting our dirty dishes, and when we press the start button, it performs several tasks like adding detergent and water, washing dishes, and even drying them out also. And finally, gives us clean dishes as a result. A user-defined function in Python is created or defined by the def statement followed by the function name and parenthesis as shown in the given syntax. In the syntax, def space function name space parameters then colon. Def is the keyword which marks the start of the function, then the function name which uniquely identify a function, and after that the function parameter followed by the colon mark which indicates the end of function header. Okay, fine. We have seen the syntax. Now let us see an example related to the syntax. At the first line it is written def space the function name say underscore hello, then a parenthesis followed by a colon, means this one is the header line of our function. Now colon is given, that means indentation will start. In the indentation line it is written print bracket, then inside inverted comma we had written hello world bracket closed, means it will print the word hello world when we will execute this particular function. Let us see another example where we had used one parameter as radius and the function name as area underscore c. Now after colon we are finding the area of circle with the formula pi r square written in this way, 3.14 multiplied by radius, then double multiplied by 2 means square root. Then we are returning its value back to the function. Okay, and on the next example we are using two parameters as L and B, and we are finding the result related to the variables L and B. Okay, after finding the calculation, after getting the result, we are returning the value back to the function name def. After creating the function, we have to call the function. So how to call a function? Once we have defined a function, we can call it from another function, program, or even the Python prompt. means we can call it from another function or if another program. If not, we can call it directly also. To call a function, we simply type the function name with the appropriate parameters. For example, calling a function number 1, where we had used area name, area underscore c as the function name, and we are giving one argument as 5. What it will do? It will use the formula of pi r square and give you the output as if the value of r means radius is 5, the answer will be 78.4. On the other case, when we are finding the area of rectangle, on that time we have used two parameters. Two parameters as L and B. We are giving the value related to those parameters as 5, 4. 5 stands for L and 4 stands for B. And after doing the calculation, we will get the output as 20. This diagram will make you clear everything about the function. Let us see. The function name is my underscore function. It is having no parameter. Okay. Then scope resolution operator. Why we are using scope resolution operator? To get the indentation done. Okay. Indentation means they all the things written just inside those indentation part, they all are the part of my function, means all the function, all the process will be done for my function. And then after doing the calculation, we have to invoke the function, means we have to call the function. For calling the function, as we know, we have to write the function name only. Okay, here we have used two variables x and y. During invoking the function, we are just giving the value of it. We get the required output according to the process. In Python, functions are categorized in three different types. They are built-in function, user-defined function, and modules. Built-in functions are the predefined functions that are already available in Python. These functions provide efficiency and structure to a programming language. Python has many useful built-in functions to make programming easier, faster, and more powerful. For example, int, float, print, input, eval, len, and many others. On the same way, modules are also a part of it, which contains functions and variables defined in a separate file. Okay. And the third and the last one is user-defined function. It is a type of function which contains a set of statements that perform a specific task. A common structuring element that allows you to see a piece of code repeatedly in different parts of a program. As we know that built-in functions are predefined functions, they are previously present in Python. So, different versions of Python contain different numbers of built-in functions. For example, in version 3.4, we are having near about 68 built-in functions in Python. And changing upon the version, there will be change in number of built-in functions. Let us see few of the built-in functions in Python. Among them, the first one is type converter function. In this one, we are talking about few of the functions like int, str, float, etc. On the same way, we are having input function, eval function to evaluate the numbers, mean and max function, ABS function to get the absolute value, type function to get the data type, len function to find the length of any string, round function and range function, and many more. Okay, let us see the function parameters and arguments. Parameters are the values provided in the parenthesis when we write function header. On the other hand, an argument is a value that is passed to the function when it is called. The alternative names for arguments are actual parameter and actual argument. And the alternative names for parameters are formal parameter and formal arguments. In this page, we will see the different types of arguments. They are as follows: default argument, keyword argument, and arbitrary argument. Okay, let us see what is default argument. A default argument is an argument that assumes a default value. If a value is not provided in the function call for that argument, sometimes we can provide default values for our positional argument. For example, in this case, def is the keyword, then we are giving the name as greet, the function name, then we are using name variable with its value, a message, a default value. Okay, if we are not passing any name, then only default value will be considered. Mind it, we must remember that if we are passing default argument to a function, then we should not take non-default arguments. Okay? Otherwise, it will result in an error as shown in the next example. Next type of argument is keyword argument. If there is a function with any parameters and we want to specify only some of them in function call, then values for such parameters can be provided by using their names instead of the position. Those types of arguments are called as keyword arguments. That's what is written, that when we call a function with some values, they get their assigned to the argument according to their position. There should not be any change in the position of their argument. Same way, the positional argument is such type of argument which is passed to a function in correct positional order. Means when we are giving any argument, there should be a correct position. If we are assigning a variable or a parameter x and then y, we should give the value of the variable x first and then y. Let us see an example of keyword argument. See, just like the first one, name equals to Bruce, comma message equals to how do you do. Here name and MSG were the two arguments whose value is given. On the next one, message is given, then the name, there is change of order. In the third one, name, which is the first argument, but name is not the keyword, mind it. That's why we can write Bruce directly, it will be accepted as a name, and the second one is MSG as a keyword, and it is having its value. Means one positional argument and the second one is keyword argument. But look at the fourth one. Here we had used the argument name equals to Bruce, but we had left the keyword MSG. We had written directly how do you do after giving the comma. It will not work because non-keyword arguments cannot be used after keyword argument. Means the keyword arguments are named arguments with assigned values being passed in the function's call statement. Hope you understood. Now let us see what is arbitrary argument. We all know arbitrary means manmana. That means randomly. If we are getting any number randomly, that means we are getting arbitrary number. Python allows us to have the arbitrary number of arguments. This is especially useful when we are not sure in the advance that how many arguments the function would require. We define the arbitrary arguments while defining a function using asterisk sign as it is given there. Let us see an example. Def greed, then inside parentheses we have written a name with asterisk sign, which means this argument given inside the parenthesis is an arbitrary argument. Okay, we can write different values for them at different moment. That means whenever we require to give one value, then we can give, and on the other moment we give different value for the same variable. Do you know what is recursion? Recursion is one of the most powerful tool in a programming language. It is a function calling itself again and again as many times user want. Recursion is defined as defining anything in terms of itself. In other words, we can say that it is a method in which a function calls itself one or more times in its body. Like other programming language, the definition, the way of defining a recursion is same. Recursion is implemented by dividing the recursive problem in two parts. The useful recursive function usually consists of the first part as terminating part and the second one is recursive part. The terminating part is used for the smallest possible problem. That is when the function returns the value directly. Whereas recursive part is the part in which it contains one of the more recursive calls on smaller parts of the problem. Let us see this example. The common example for execution of recursion is the factorial, where we are checking the value of x, the variable given inside the parenthesis, is 1 or not. If 1, then it will return 1, else it will just do this type of execution where x is multiplied by the recursive value of 1 less than x. This completes the recursive function. Let us call it. While calling, we are using a variable num and we are giving its value. Then we are checking it. Is the number is greater than or equal to 1? And then we are printing it that the factorial of num is recurse underscore fact then num. What does it means? We are calling the function as recurse underscore fact. Let's do the dry run for the factorial. Imagine that we are executing the function, its name is factorial and the value given inside is 5. Means when it will come to the if part, it will check is the value equal to 1. No, it will go to the else part. When it will go to the else part, it will return x into function name x minus 1 means 5 into factorial of 4 means 5 into 5 minus 1 4. In the same way for the next time 5 into 4 into 4 minus 1 5 into 4 into 3 into 3 minus 1. Same way 5 4 3 2 and then 2 minus 1 and finally when it reaches to 1, that means it will multiply it and after that it will terminate it because it will reach the condition of if and the value is 1, that means it will go to the terminating part and the program will terminate. So finally we will get the value 120. See this table. In this table it is shown that if the factorial of 1 we have to find, then output will be 1. If it is 2, then 2 and 2 minus 1. Okay, it will be 2. Same way 3 means 3 into 2 into 1. Same way for 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. And similarly, as like if the factorial value is given 10, then it will execute from 10 subtracting 1 each time from 10 and finally when it reaches to 1 it will terminate. Hope you understood this program. This one is all about the factorial and the program is called as recursive program. Okay, this one is all about. In this video we will meet with new program, new method, new topic of Python in our next video.